Hello, I'm Ben. Welcome to the channel. So today we're going to be looking at John C. Maxwell's book, The 21 Indispensable Qualities of a Leader, Becoming the Person that Others Will Want to Follow. And that is what that book looks like. It's a pretty quick read. It's only about 150 pages. It's one that's on a list that I reread every year just because each year something different sticks out to me. So we'll run through these 21 indispensable qualities. Most of these you've probably heard before, but I will be giving a definition around that too, so you know exactly what that means. So the first quality is character. Character is a choice. You know, talent's a gift, character's a choice. So character means you're standing up, you're a piece of the rock. You give people a sense of security and you do what you say. You do what is expected of you. I always say a good leader should be boringly proficient at their job, meaning they support their team, they try to remove obstacles, they check in with their team to get feedback, and they apply that feedback and reset and go again. So character is that first piece of the qualities of a leader. The second is charisma. Part of leading people is you have to inspire. And even though every day we should have a positive attitude, we know just as good as we're sitting here that different days are going to impact people differently. They're going through stuff. There's things happening that aren't necessarily positive. There's challenges that people are going through. So that charisma is something that matters. It takes people from that place of even and pushes them, tips them toward a positive attitude for the day. You make others feel good about themselves. You make them love life. You give them reasons to celebrate. That charisma is being passionate about life and expecting the best from people and for people. So that charisma, it gives people hope. And by you sharing your wisdom and your resources and being engaged with those people and giving those people hope, that is charisma. So that is the second of the qualities. The third is commitment. Commitment inspires and attracts people. If you're not committed to the goal, if you're wavering or floundering, you're not going to have an impact to the bottom line or to the expectations of the company or your team. So the more committed you are to the situation, the more committed, and I always use the term career-minded. If a person is career-minded, they're going to put forth their best work because they're going to be there for a long time. So the better they do the job now, the better it's going to take care of them in the future. That is what commitment shows. It shows that dedication to the big picture for the long term. Number 4 is communication. Basically, you should have the gift to take something complicated and then make it simple and share. So in communication, the biggest piece is to be effective. People talk about communication like there's some big formula to it, but the truth is you need to be effective so people can understand it. You need to simplify the message. You need to see the person that is the primary expectant of receiving that communication. You need to basically take the time to show the truth, be a resource, be clear, answer questions if there are any, and then have that message be shared in the same manner. So that communication piece, it does take some attention, and the more severe and the more important things are, the more specific you're going to have to be around those items. Okay, communication. The next is competence. Say it, plan it, do it. Competence means you show up every day and you keep improving. You follow through with excellence. You accomplish more than expected, and you inspire others. That competence, people are inspired by competence once they know you and they know you get stuff done. That is a check mark, right? When they see you, they trust that you can get that done because of that confidence that you've built. So it's important that you build that confidence so you can inspire that trust, and that's going to give people that knowledge and that safety in your character to know that you're going to do those things. Number 6 is courage. Courage begins on the inside. It makes things right and inspires others. You have to, basically, your life expands in proportion to your courage. There's been tons of different quotes around this. Basically, to be courageous sometimes can cost a lot. I'll go flat out and say courage is one of probably the most difficult pieces around this leader credo. So I'll tell you, there's companies where when a leader chooses to stand between a toxic culture and his team to protect his team or her team from some of that, that can be tough. That can be dangerous for a leader. That can impact the length of their career in places. So just know that sometimes having courage is going to put you in harm's way when you're protecting your team. But it still is necessary. Without courage, you can't get anything done. You have to have that courage. A lot of courage comes from faith. So that's a piece that I think goes into that too. Next is discernment. Discover the root of issues. You want to enhance problem solving by actually going to the root cause. So discernment means you can make decisions around what's given to you and decipher what is to come from that. So part of communication is proper discernment. You have sometimes people that don't communicate effectively because they can't figure out what they want to go about in the first place anyway. So discernment. Learn how others think, trust your gut, and analyze parts of a whole so you can best describe it and best handle the issue. It multiplies your opportunities. That's number 7, discernment. Number 8 is focus. Talked about focus in other videos before. Basically, focus is going to allow you to work on yourself while you're identifying and working on your priorities. I said before, you want to focus 70% of your work on your strengths, about 25% on new things, and about 5% on areas of weakness. So if you're doing that, you're going to continually grow and improve. And that's how you want to handle that. And in focus, sometimes you hire people in areas of your weakness. If it's stuff you don't like doing, it may make sense to hire somebody to handle that for you, someone that enjoys it. So that's just something about focus. Make sure it's directed and you do it that way. The 9th is generosity. Be grateful for what you have, put people first, and share as often as you can. Don't allow desire for possessions to cater your regard for others. So basically, be generous. Share what you can. It could be time. It could be attention. It could be effort. Share what you can. It doesn't always have to be money or things. People sometimes put too much of generosity's definition on material. It doesn't necessarily have to be material. It can be time. 10 is initiative. To be a proper leader, you have to take initiative. If you see that there's a problem or even just if you know what you want, if there's a goal that's necessary, mistakes and things are going to arise, risks are going to arise, but if you see the potential, you have to go out and get after it. That's that initiative, taking the next step. That's number 10. 11 is listening. A lot of people think that they listen well. That's rare. A good, active listener is a rare person these days. So people are typically seeking what they need and are seeking what they want to hear based on their own viewpoint or on their own opinion. Listening means you may remove the context. You want to listen between the lines. You want to see the emotional content. You want to see what's motivating the person. And you want to try to give solutions or some resolution to the trouble that they're in or the problem that they're seeking an answer to. So that's listening. Passion. Follow your passion, not other people's perceptions, and you will be more dedicated and productive. Passion can mean different things to different people, okay? There are some people that are passionate about everything. Passion, in my mind, is a result of positive work to move towards a common goal. So if you're motivated to win, that's a passion for winning. But the way you win is you reach goals, as you get past obstacles, right? So the passion piece could be that you're just trying to win the situation or complete the job at hand. It doesn't have to be something that's silly. It can be something that's directed and dedicated, and you have a absolute commitment to that process, and that in itself could be passion. 13 is one of the most important. That's a positive attitude. I've said this many, many times. Sometimes the only difference in those who survive and those who make it is attitude. A positive attitude is a superpower, okay? Attitude is a choice. You can choose how you view things, you can choose how you live your life, and you can choose how you respond to things. Ultimately, you are who you attract. So if you have a positive attitude, then people with a positive attitude are going to be attracted to you. The more people with positive attitudes are attracted to you, and the more you surround yourself with, and the more inside your inner circle that are positive attitude type folks, the more successful you all are going to be. And that, it basically sets a fire on the world around you. There's not much that's going to get in your way because you know you're going to get around it. You know this is just a day, it's temporary, and you're going to get this stuff taken care of and you're going to move beyond. So protect your positive attitude. It's the most expensive thing you could waste is if you let someone take away your positive regard for what you're doing for that day. The 14th is problem solving. Basically, you have to be able to anticipate problems. You're going to have to accept the truth for what it is. I say that often, it is what it is. You have to see how that measures up in the big picture, and then you take one step at a time to look for the solution. That is problem solving. Number 15 is relationships. You need to know how to get along with people. You need to understand the people in the groups. You need to love your teams as best you can. You cannot fake that. You have to be genuine on caring for folks, and we'll say that old adage, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So build those relationships with purposefully and with intent, and be honest in it and be transparent and care about your teams. If you do that, you'll be more successful as a unit. Responsibility. Get the job done. Go the extra mile. Be driven by excellence. Produce regardless of the situation. Responsibility is you keep hanging in there and you admit we're not good enough, so you find a way to get better and you find a way to get to the goal. That's responsibility. Number 17 is security. I've said this before on how important security is, both psychological and physical security at a workplace. People need to provide security to others. People need to know that they're safe. People need to know that they're supported. People need to know that what they think matters and how they contribute matters. If you do that, you're giving them security. The best people know themselves and they can comfort other people and try to build teams by giving them credit for things, giving them the opportunity to participate. I've said that before. The more you empower your team, the more secure they feel in the job. They think they're making a contribution that's deemed valuable, so they're safer in the role and they're safer at the company. 18 is self-discipline. Develop and follow your priorities. Make a disciplined lifestyle your goal. Change excuses. And basically don't stop until the job's done. Stay focused on the results. Self-discipline may just be the easiest way to show or to have self-discipline is do the same thing every day. If you set yourself a schedule and you stick to it every single day, if you miss a day, that ripple effect still takes place, right? And it goes back to what we said about the Grand Canyon. If you take one step at a time, you can go a very great distance. That's the piece about self-discipline. Self-discipline is the drive just to do the one piece that's necessary today. If you do that and you do that with repetition, you can go very far because over time it will have a huge impact. Number 19 is servanthood. Love your people more than your position. Put others ahead of your own agenda. Possess the confidence to serve and perform small acts of appreciation. Walk slowly through the crowd and move with action. So in servanthood, I used to do this when I had locations that I worked from. I had multiple sites. And what I would do is I would do walks. And sometimes it would be a gimbal walk where you were looking for specific lean-minded improvements. And sometimes it would just be a walk to observe. I often say inspect what you expect. These walks, you're going around, you're taking a look at everything that you're responsible for. You're looking at your team, you're seeing how they're doing, you're seeing if they're engaging with customers appropriately. How do they seem? Are they okay? And in that, it creates opportunities for conversations, creates opportunities for people to reach out to you. And in those items, those walks and those talks, you can find ways to serve your team other than what would be the standard role that you're currently in. Okay, so that's 19, servanthood. Number 20 is teachability. Seems like a strange word, but basically, the biggest part about being a leader is knowing that you have to continue to grow. Okay, so you have to be teachable. My mindset when I leave the house every single day is every person I meet can teach me something. Now, it may be usable, it may not, but everyone I meet should be able to teach me something. The idea is that you have to be open. Your growth determines who you are. You need to be able to overcome your success and still be humble and learn more, and never basically pay twice for the same mistake. That's a huge piece of this. is if you are teachable, you're never going to have to learn a lesson twice, okay? And that is wisdom. You never pay twice for the same mistake. You can try something new, you can lean on your area of strength, and you can learn from the mistakes, or you can learn from the losses. That way you never really lose, okay? That's teachability. And number 21, the final piece is vision, okay? When you have a vision that you can communicate and share with others, it adds value. It lets people understand how their role makes sense and how they participate in the big picture. So when you have a vision, you need to be able to make sure you are able to communicate the pieces of it so everyone can understand it clearly. You want to write it down. You want to say what motivates you. You want to do a gut check too to make sure you're bought into this vision. And then that way you have to be genuine. And by doing these things, you can be genuine about the vision and the goal and the construct of the goal. And then you can better communicate and share that because it's something you believe in. So that is the 21 indispensable qualities of a leader. There's the book, John C. Maxwell. Pick up a copy when you get a chance. Pretty short read, but a very large amount of useful information in there, and it can be used for leadership role or understanding leadership better. But ultimately, all of these things from an individual standpoint, if you work on these qualities and these character traits within yourselves, you will be able to represent yourself better, and you'll be of better value to teams and to the people you serve. So hopefully you enjoyed this. If you do, please like and subscribe. I appreciate you taking the time to look at the channel, and please share it with others. We will have more content around this, and I'm sure I'll do a lot more on John C. Maxwell's books because he is one of my favorite authors at the moment. I appreciate you. Be good.